Very good evening, students. I'm going ahead in today's lecture. I'm going ahead with the topic Applet Programming that I started in my last lecture. What Applet Programming is, how it differs with normal application program, what is the life cycle of an applet, that we already discussed in my last lecture. Also discussed the implementation of applet programming. And from last lecture, we came to know that the applet program is not similar with the normal application program. Because in normal application program, we have a main method. And inside that main method, there is a code, Java code. We need to compile that code first. And then after, we have to run that code by using the command javac and java respectively. But in applet programming, what we have seen, it is not executing just like normal application program. We have to take help of an HTML page to display the output of an applet program. The steps that we have followed, first we have to write a Java program, .java file better to say. Then we have to compile that .java file. After compilation, what we get? A .class file. That .class file needs to embed in an HTML file by using applet tag that I discussed already. And we can check the applet program output by running it in browser. Already explained, not all the time browser supports applet due to reason of plugins. Another option we have, that is applet viewer tool. Using applet viewer tool, we can also check the applet programming output. This much we have discussed in my last lecture. And we also mentioned that when we are writing applet program, we have to extend a class. We have to extend the class. Which class? From applet class, we have to extend. And under that applet class, there is a init method. We know what is the function of init method according to the applet lifecycle. That is the initialization steps of an applet. Better to say it's a newborn state. After calling init method, the applet reaches to newborn state. And to display the output of an applet, whatever I want to show as an output of an applet, you have to write that code inside paint method. And this paint method takes a parameter of graphics class, where to say. So that's why we need to import java.awt package, because graphics class reside under that package. And we have to import that applet package also, because this applet package consists that applet class which we are extending to write our applet program. Here, my own class name is test1, which is extending from already defined class applet. And this init method, paint method, they are already defined inside class applet. So what we are doing, we are basically overriding these methods in the test 1 class. Today, I will discuss few methods of this graphics class which are used to purpose of drawing many different types of shapes. First method that I want to show to you, that is draw line method. The methods that I'm going to discuss all are defined under graphics class. This draw line method, I don't have any parameter to initialize, so this init method body remain blank so far. So inside paint method, I'm calling a method. The name of the method I mentioned, sorry, it's draw line, g dot draw line, which takes 4 parameters, that is x1, y1 and x2, y2. I hope you understood what is the meaning of this x1, y1. That is the starting coordinate point of this line. And in my last lecture, I mentioned the top left corner of the screen is considered as, the top left corner of that applet is considered as coordinate system 0, 0. So with respect to that, if I write 10, 10, that is my x1, y1, and 50, 50, I can draw a line from 10, 10 to 50, 50. And if I execute that applet code, what I have to do? First, I have to compile it. That is Java C. I'm in under Applet Prog, so no problem. Java C test1.java is my program name. It's compiling. Yes, compiled. Next, I will use the tool Applet Viewer to show the output test1.java. Sorry, mistyped. It is test1.java, not test.java. Look, a line comes from 10, 10 to 50, 50. Understood? If I modify it from 0, 0 to 50, 50, better to say 0, 0 to 50, 50. First compile it, then execute it, then you can understand where the 0, 0 point starts. Fine. So let me compile it. Yes, it is compiled. Then let me execute. Look where the 0, 0 point is. Top left corner of this applet window is considered as the coordinate system. Coordinates of that point is 0, 0. X coordinate 0 value, Y coordinate 0 value. So I hope you understood how this draw line function works. Next function that I want to introduce to you, the name of the function is draw rect. G dot draw rect. I hope you understood what is the purpose of using this function. To draw a rectangle. Draw line method is used to draw a line. To draw line. Fine. Second method that I'm going to introduce is used to draw a rectangle. This function also takes 4 parameters. Fine. What are those 4 parameters? x1, y1, x1, y1, say 10, 60. I'm giving the name, giving the value of x1, y1, and next two are the width and height. Four parameters for draw line was x1, y1, x2, y2. Note it down. 4 parameters to draw a rectangle. This method is used to purpose of draw a rectangle. The 4 parameters it is taking x1, y1, width, and height. I hope you understood what the meaning of this. So 10 from 10, 60, the width is 40 and the height is 30. Yes, the output comes in the output screen. Let me share the output screen with you. I hope it is visible now. First one is a straight line. I hope you understood from where 0 point starts. And this is the output of what? This is the output of the rectangle that I just mentioned. Draw rect is the name of the function. Fine. Next function. I want to move to the next function. That is fill rect. Fill rect. This is the purpose of this function is also draw a rectangle. Try to follow the function name, rather the spelling of the function name. In case of draw rect, D is small, R is in capital. Similarly, in case of draw line, D is small, L is in capital. And for the fill rect function, F is in small letter, whereas R is in capital letter. So this function also takes 4 parameters. I'm giving the value as 60, 10, 30, 80. Fine. So what this function returns? Definitely a rectangle once again. And these 4 parameters are similar to the parameter with draw rect. But this time, this function returns, this function returns a filled rectangle. By default, the color of this filled rectangle will be black. Default color of this filled rectangle is black. So let me check the output of this program first. First compile it, compiled, then I've executed it, and yes, it is coming. A filled rectangle has come. I hope this function is clear to you. We can change the color of this filled rectangle. How can I change the color? There is a method g dot set color. Follow the spelling. Set is small and C capital. And this value is color dot yellow. So default value changes from black to yellow. And now I am checking once again this code. Look, now the filled rectangle filled with the color yellow as because I have changed the value of the color from black to yellow. Note it down. The default color is always black. Fine. Next method I am moving is draw round rect. Draw round rect. What this method takes? 6 parameters. I'm considering the value 10, 100. This is the x1, y1. Next two is width and height. So that is 80 and 50 I considered. Then I have to provide 2 more values. My question is, what is these 2 more values? These 2 more values are basically representing the width and height of the angles of corners. Width and height of the angles of corners. Fine. Width and height of the angle of corners. That means the span of width and span of the height that this angle will expand. And that will be reflected in the output. If I compile it, again I'm compiling the program and using Applet viewer, I'm displaying the output of the screen. Yes, look, these 4 corners are rounded, gets rounded, and span of this round in x and y axis, considering x and y axis, it is 10, 10 in both sides. Fine. If you make it 20, 20, then it will span, that rounded will be more larger than this one. Let me check to change it 20, 20. Okay, make it 20, 20. Compile it. Compile the same. Look, this time the round option, rather round of the corners, each is much more than the previous output, because I have set the round value in x and y axis 20, 20, earlier it was 10, 10. So I hope this much is clear to you. Next, I will use one more function with respect to this, that is fill round rect. Just similar to fill let. It also draw a filled rectangle, rounded 4 corners. Fill round rect. ROUND. Filled round rect. This also takes 6 parameters. I'm putting the value 20, 110, 60, 30, and the last 2 parameter again 20, 20. Fine. So if you execute it, if you compile it and execute it, look. This one is fill round rect, this one. I've given the value of this XY parameters in such a manner, that's why this output comes in this way. Fine. So this is the example of use of, better to say, it's a fill round rect. I hope you understood what is the use of this fill round rect. Like round rect, this function also takes 6 parameters. Next function I'm going to use, it is draw oval. Fine. Which takes 4 parameters. Draw oval takes 4 parameters. X1, sorry, XY, because no other coordinate is required. XY, width and height. Say like I'm putting the value 20, 20. Say I put the value width is 200 and height is 120. So it's a coordinate. First 2 points are the XY, that are the coordinates. And last 2 are the width and height. So this function is used to draw an oval. Parameters are XY, width, and height. So if you compile it and run it, let me stop the previous output. Yes. So then I need to compile it. Using Applet viewer, look, the output of oval comes. Fine. So now my question is, if this width and height are same, that means equal, definitely this oval becomes a circle, because the height and width both are same. Look, now this shape becomes circle instead of oval. Just like fill rect, there is a one more function. It's a fill oval. G dot fill oval. O is in capital. Fill oval. which is basically purpose of drawing oval. Takes 4 parameter same to draw oval, and feature used. The output of this fill oval function is basically and filled oval. Filled color is default filled color is black. We can change the filled color to some other colors like previously shown code. So let me compile once again. Look, the output of this fill oval has come. This is the output of the fill oval. Fine. I hope you understood the output of this functions. These all functions are defined under this graphics class, and we can use those functions depending upon our requirement of different types of shapes. Fine. So fill oval, this much is clear, I hope. Next, I'm moving to one more important function, that is draw arc. It's a very important function. Draw arc is basically used to draw an arc. Fine. First the first four parameters of this draw arc function, it takes 6 arguments. Draw arc function takes 6 arguments. The first 4 parameters of this draw arc is same as draw oval. The first 4 functions of this draw arc is basically what? Same as draw oval. That means XY coordinate, then width and height. Very nice. Then last 2 parameters represent the starting angle and the sweep angle. Fine. Starting angle and the sweep angle. So I am commenting the entire part over here. So far, all the methods I am commenting to show the output clearly in the screen. Fine. So I'm trying to write a, rather trying to call a function which is draw arc, ARC. Fine. First 4 parameters are same as draw oval. So 10, 10. So I'm writing 130, 200. This is width and height. Width and height. Fine. Now the last 2 parameters, first one says 0. Fine. So starting angle 0 and the sweep angle. So I'm taking it 180. Let me compile the program and check the output of this code. Look, an arc is coming. It is start width and height that is mentioned. It is starting from 10, 10. Fine. So width and height is basically 130 is the width. This much is 130. Fine. And 200 is the height. Yes. 200 is the height. Fine. And then the starting angle is 0 And swipe angle is 180. 180 means how much? It's a straight line. 180 we all know it's a straight line. So 0, 180 means it's starting from 0, and it's plus 180 means it's this direction. Which direction? It's a clockwise or anti-clockwise? It's a anti-clockwise direction. Now, I just repeat the same line with the value minus 180. And let me execute the program once again. Look, the second line gives us the output of 0 minus 80. So it starts from here, and minus 80 is basically in this direction. So the output of this is basically comes in an oval shape. It's just like an egg shape, better to say. But actually this is, we have drawn this, whether we have completed this task by using toDrawArc function. Fine. Similar to fill oval, fill rect, there is a function which is fill arc. Fine. And if we repeat these two functions once again, fill arc, say starting point of this function, I'm considering it is 130, it is say 200, 200, 250 I'm taking, because 250 I'm taking, 250, 250. Look how it looks like. Sorry, very sorry. First we have to compile the file. This is the compilation. Then have to check the output. Look, it is starting from 250, 250, then 130, 200 is the width and height, 0, 180. Now I am changing the value, 0, 90, 0, 90. How it looks like? It is 180, 0 to 180. Fine. Now I am set it 0, 90. If the value is 0, 90, this is the output of 90 degree. Swipe angle is 90 degree, it is starting from 0 degree. Fine. Next, I change the value of 0, 180 that I already shown you. I want to make it 0, 270. 90, 180, then I have set it 270. Compile it. Show the output. Look, it's output of 270. It is not showing the entire one. Yes, it is output of 270. Fine. And if I make it 360, then entire oval, if I make it 360, let me check minus 270 first. Then I will make it 360. minus 270. So how it looks like. Look, it's starting from here. It is minus 90, minus 180, minus 270. If you give it minus 360, this portion will be filled. Fine. So I hope you understood what is the meaning of this start angle and the meaning of this swipe angle. So both this draw arc and fill arc, these two functions are taking 6 parameters. First parameter is the coordinate, that is xy. First 2 parameters, better to say. Then next 2 is basically width and height, so foregun. And last 2 parameters are basically representing the starting angle and sweep angle. What is the meaning of starting angle and sweep angle? I hope you understood through this example. Fine. Next function that I moving on, it's a draw polygon. We have a function to draw polygon. So draw polygon function takes 3 parameters. Fine. I'm commenting this part. 3 parameters. First parameter, first 2 parameters, better to say, are the integer array. So I'm taking 2 integer array. And first integer array is basically holding the x coordinates 10, 170. I'm considering this value 170, 80, and 10. And I'm taking one more array, integer array, initializing with the value 20, 40, 140, 20. And another parameter it takes, that is n, is basically nothing but the number of points either in x or in y. Both x and y must have same number of values. Why? Because first parameter of this x array, or the first value of this x array, is basically representing x1. First value of this y array is representing y1. Similarly, second is the x2. Second value of this x array is x2. Second value of the y array is y2. So x1, y1, x2, y2, x3, y3, x4, y4. And because it's a polygon, that means the first point and the last point must be same. That's why try to draw a polygon. It starts from 10, 20. Next point is 170, 40. Next point is 80, 140. Definitely the next point will be 10, 20. That means because it's a closed, no? We are drawing different lines from one point to another. So if I want to draw a polygon, just like rectangle, it is basically we are drawing a rectangle through this x, y coordinates. That's because this is closed. So that's why the first point and last points is same. So draw polygon is basically taking this 4 parameters. First parameter is the x array, that is the set of x coordinates. Second parameter is the set of y coordinates. And third parameter is the number of points is in either X or in Y, because X or Y both having the same number of values. Forgot to give semicolon, so that's why it is showing an error. Look, polygon comes. Fine. So this is one approach of drawing a polygon. Another approach is draw polygon is the method. Fine. There is a class named polygon. Fine. So you may take this, you have to take this X, Y, and there is a class polygon. You can create an object of this polygon with the same 3 parameters. It's a class with the same 3 parameters. That is X, Y, and N. So now your OB name is OB. Fine. Object name is OB. In the next line, I am calling this draw polygon function, and I have to pass that polygon object over there. Polygon. I have to pass that polygon object that I have created just now over there. Compiling. Yes, same output is coming. Fine. So this is the another approach of drawing a polygon. Another approach we have to draw a polygon. Commenting this part. In this case, I have initialized the points. Now, first I am creating an object of a polygon class. Fine. Then what I will do, I will call a method named addPoint. This method is basically used to adding points to this object. So first point was our 10, 20. So just like this, X1, Y1. Again, I'm taking one more point. What was for my second point? 170, 40. 170 is the X2 and 40 is my Y2. Fine. Adding one more point. That point was, earlier that point was 80, 140. 80 and 140. Fine. I'm not changing the value. And the last point is again same with the first one, because it is closed polygon. Fine. And I have to call this draw polygon method by passing that object. So here what we have done, we just use the method addPoint to adding new points of a polygon object. So let me compile the program. Where the error comes. So probably uh, sorry, sorry, very sorry. Need to close it. Forgot to close. Polygon OB, new polygon. Sorry. No need to pass parameter over here because I'm creating an empty polygon object. Thereafter, I am adding some points into polygon. Fine. Fine. Look, it comes into the output. So I hope you understood this much. There are many more functions. We are discussing only this much because this much is basically required for our laboratory assignments. That's why I'm discussing this much. In the laboratory assignment, what was given? You have to draw a smiley, rather a smiling face, using these shapes. Fine. And I have done this. I'm showing you the program first. Yes, this is the program. All the functions I have discussed with you. First, I have set my color to yellow. Then that's a fill oval, that is for the face part. Again, I am setting the color black. This is for left eye and right eye. These are the polygons just discussed. And this is for the purpose of the nose. This is the draw arc function that I used for the purpose of smile. And these are the two lines which are basically smile arc 1 and smile arc 2. So let me compile the file and execute it. Applet viewer is 2.java. Look, these two lines, these two are basically for the purpose of smile. These two draw lines are basically smile arc 1, this line and this line. So smiling face comes. These functions are already introduced to you, and then after I have implemented these functions to draw this smiling face, which is in your laboratory assignment. You have this program. Fine. I hope this much is clear to you. Please note it down. The code, note down the code that's required. And when you are writing this type of code, the important thing is that is the parameters. The parameters value. You have to use this parameter value using trial and error methods, because sometimes you have to set the eye in the smiling face in its proper position, right? Now, set the nose in its proper positions of this oval, First, you have to draw the fill oval. Then you have to set nose, set eye in its proper positions. So that's why it is very important to set those value in its proper position. Then you have to use actually trial and error method. No other method you have to set the final parameters value of this fill oval, which is used for the eye, just like draw polygon, which is used for the nose. This parameter value we have used as using only trial and error methods. No other options we have. So I hope this much is clear to you. Then I'm moving to my next example, where the applet is showing where applet is showing numerical values. Because in my last class, what I have shown to you, that is the example test 5, using drawstring method, we can display a string. And I mentioned in that class, this drawstring method is used to take, drawstring method is used to take the string value, first parameter as a string. So now, if I try to change this program, so I'm taking int v1, taking two variables, one set the value 10 and another variable v2 and set the value 20. Very nice. And another sum value, so it is v1 plus v2. Now my question is, how can I show the sum value in this applet? Because applet, to show the output on the applet screen, only string is permitted. First parameter is taken as a string of this drawstring method. To show the output in the applet window, we have to call the method. The name of the method is drawstring. The first parameter of this drawstring method is a string. So we need to convert it, convert this integer value to string. So for that purpose, I have to call a method that I discussed at the time of string chapter. It's a value of, which is basically used to convert any other data type to string. Value of sum. So now what this line interprets? This line interprets string s, as considering a variable string s, is sum equal to plus the sum value is now converted to string, and it will be appended, where the plus operator is used to append to strings, concatenate to string, the sum equal to 10 plus 20, that is 30. So instead of this hello world, what I have to pass? I have to pass that string variable, drawstring s, comma 100, comma 100. So definitely this value, this output will give us that 30. Let me compile and execute it. This test5.java, Java C test5.java. Applet viewer, test5.java. Look, sum equal to 30. So in this way, we can show the any data type value except string to the output of an applet program. But before that, we must have to convert it to a string, because to show any content in the applet window, we have to call the method drawstring, which takes only string parameter. Fine. Last topic that I'm going to discuss for today, which is passing parameter to applet. And that is a very important concept. We have to pass parameter to an applet. Already I have written a program. Try to understand. what I have written over there. As earlier program, I have to incorporate, rather import this two packages, java.applet.star, import java.awt.star. It may be applet.applet. Fine. Then the class test3 takes, rather declares a parameter, member variable, not parameter, string str. Very nice. Then init method I have used over here. What is the init method? Init method says str equal to get parameter, str equal to get parameter var. From where this var coming, it is completely unknown to us. I'm coming to that point later on. I've written str equal to get parameter var. Nice. Then if str equal to null, str equal to Java. If else str equal to, not else, that is the outer of this if part, str equal to hello plus str. This is written inside init method. When this init method will be called? At the initialization of this applet programming. Init method is basically the initialization part of this applet program. This basically bonds a new applet, give a birth of a new applet. Fine. Then I am calling the paint method. Inside paint method, I have just print the value of str by calling drawString method. That is a bit similar of the earlier program. The different part of this program is this line number 23. Earlier we have used this applet tag, code equal to that class file width height. This part is very similar than the previous program, similar with the previous program. But here we have one more tag I used. The name of the tag is param. Param tag is used to pass the parameter to an applet program. Once again, I am repeating, param tag is used to pass a parameter to the applet program. And here you have to, the param tag has two attributes. One is name, another one is value. One is name, another one is value. I'm considering the name of the parameter is var. I'm considering the name of the parameter is var. And the value, say I'm putting the value MCKVI over here. Fine. So the name of my parameter is var and the value of this parameter is MCKVI. When I am calling this function get parameter and I am writing as a parameter, I am passing the value var. That is actually the name of the parameter I am passing. Get parameter function, what it returns, the get parameter function returns the value of that parameter which is passed as a parameter of get parameter function. Here parameter of this get parameter function is var. So parameter name is var. Get parameter function actually returns the value of this var parameter. Fine. Here what I have passed, MCKVI I have passed. So the value of str is not null because the value of str becomes MCKVI. So it will print str equal to hello MCKVI that gets initialized before the applet programs executes. So when it executes, it shows us hello MCKVI. Let me check the output of this program. Then I will move the next part. This is test3.java. Java C test3.java. Fine. Applet viewer. Test3 dot applet viewer test3.java. Fine. Look, it is coming hello MCKVI. So param tag, note it down. Param tag is used to pass a parameter to an applet program. Fine. Moving to the next part. What is the next part? I'm omitting the value of this parameter where. So when I'm omitting the value, that means this get parameter value returns null to str, and that's why str, what it is written inside init method. If str value is null, the value of str is set to Java, and final, the value str gets modified. The value of str will be hello plus str. So hello Java. So when I'm not passing any value, rather I'm not setting any value to the param tag. So it gives us the output. What it gives? Hello Java. Fine. So let me execute the program. Once again, Java C applet viewer test3.java. Look, now the output comes hello Java. Fine. So I hope you understood this much, how we can pass a parameter to an applet program. And I have discussed different methods of this graphics class, which are normally used for the purpose of different shape drawing. So I hope this much is clear to you. Concluding today's session over here. If you have any doubt, you may ask the question through mail. Thank you. Thank you very much.